Well, oh man, I figure I got a little time while I'm Ubering. You know, I don't let, I don't hide that I do Uber. I mean, what I got to hide for? Sorry, no six-figure dude here. I am a five. I got five figures. Sorry, I don't play that six-figure crap. That's leave that to other people who want to be targets for being tricks. Yeah, y'all do that. Y'all say y'all got six figures. Not me. Not me. I got an Uber. But anyway, I figure since I got time, let me hit up a live stream. I'm bored, really. Man, I was listening to Ricky Smiley. Ugh, I know. Anybody who, I mean, if you like Ricky Smiley, good for you. I don't. Ever since this whole thing with Kamala Harris, I can't stand Ricky Smiley. But at my other job, they listen to it, so uh, I ain't got a choice, really. So you do what you do. But they were doing a story on Marvin Sapp. Never should have made it, guy. So apparently, a year ago, um, he was at a church. I guess it was a church function or whatever. And from what I heard of the story, it was like he said, "Lock the doors." I'm like, "Lock the doors." So they in the church, he didn't lock the doors, and he getting on them for not putting their money up. And I'm like, damn. So this is what they do at church. Now, granted, I haven't been in a church in years. Okay. Um, I the last church I was in was for my ex-wife's funeral. That's the last time I've been in a church. Before that, like really, really been in church was going on 6, 7 years now. And even then I was an usher at the church. So when I heard that, I'm like, damn, they strong arm at the church now? I ain't never heard of that shit at the church. They just say lock the doors. But then when I actually heard the story, he said close the doors. Now people still up in arms about closing doors, and I'm like, um, I guess people don't go to church a lot, but closing doors, that's standard operandi for a church. Like when there's communion, when there's like passing the collection plate, or there's important information, or there's prayer. Yeah, they tell people to close the doors because they don't want traffic in and out, and they don't want somebody if that collection plate is getting passed, they don't want nobody to come in, grab it, and run up out of there. So that closing the doors, that didn't bother me. That's standard. I don't know why anybody would be flipping the fuck out about that. That they do that. So I'm like, what's the problem? So he's telling them to close the doors, and then he's getting on them for not giving their money like that. I mean, that's standard practice at a church, because if the pastor's like, hey, we need money for this, we need money for that, and people ain't giving like they should, they're like, yeah, the pastor will get on them for that. Now, typically the Bible is that tithe, that's supposed to be for to cover everything at the church. But we live in a world where, hey, the lights got to be on, the air conditioning got to be on, and the way people tithe, sometimes that ain't enough. It's just not enough. Like I remember my pastor before I left, he was like, "Hey, you like this air conditioning, right? You like you like these lights, right? So you know what you got to do, right?" It's like, so I understand it from that end, but I understand some of these churches take it too far. Um, it, it it got people in a hole. I remember my mom was going to take out a payday loan for the pastor's celebration pay, and if I remember, it was like $100 something. I think $150. My mom was going to take a payday loan. I told my mom, you are not getting a payday loan to pay this man. That ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna do that. No, mom, give him what you can. Like, it's not like he said pay it all at one time. You get a payment plan. Even I don't think that's fucking that that you should be doing that. But if you're gonna do it the payment plan. That's not even said in the Bible. So what are you doing? So she didn't do it. But that's how much a hold that the church can have on people, man. It's crazy. So, that's why a lot of people have left the church. And then when they hear stories like this, they take it too far. They want to smear the church's name. This is the internet. Hey, Conscious, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Congrats on the channel, man. You growing like crazy, man. Yeah, I'm just here on a Sunday morning bored doing stuff. But man, it's a thing with the church. It's a thing with the church. It's that these people have such a negative view on the church, and again, the church do a lot of good things. She, no problem, man. I've been watching you. You've been going in on Trump. I mean, listen, uh, Trump's an idiot, so I understand. But this thing about the church is like when the church doing good shit, people don't say nothing. It's like there are churches who save families from being homeless. They're getting clothes to people who really need it. But you're not going to hear about that stuff. No, you're going to hear about the bad stuff. The pastor up there banging all the women, the pastor scamming money. You're gonna hear that stuff, but you're not gonna hear about the good stuff that they do. Now listen, there's some bad churches out there. There's some bad pastors. We know that they're human beings. I, I don't put nothing past a human being, especially when they have the power just like a pastor does. Absolute power corrupts. And, you know the saying. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay, that's humans. So I don't put past a human anything. But at the same time, I don't like when some of these churches they let these dudes just do whatever, and they just like, uh, well, we supposed to be forgiven. God chose them. What? So you just gonna let this dude just get away with anything, and you just gonna sit there and let it happen? I'm like, nah, we don't do that here. Like, man, I remember my great aunt, their church, their pastor wasn't doing what they wanted him to do. They got him up out of there. They got him up out of there. I have never seen a church remove a pastor. And given this pastor only been there, he hadn't been there that long. Usually pastors be like years and years and years. This man I don't even think he was there a year before they got him up out of there. Don't tell me y'all can't get rid of a pastor. I've seen it done. And these were older people. They did not give a hell. They were like, you got to go. And they got him up out of there. That was some crazy stuff. Like, I ain't never seen a church get rid of a pastor that quick. But they did. So it's like, listen, sometimes these people be so obsessed with the person. It's not even the fact that they're the pastor. They obsessed with the person. And they will even tell you in the Bible, the past, Kurt Franklin had a song. It's like, the past is not your God, but these people make him out their God. And then you wonder why your churches go to crap. Because it's not about God anymore. It's not about Jesus anymore. It's about that pastor. So it's crazy. Luckily, my pastor, before I left, he was very responsible. He built the school. He bought land right by the school. Land right by the church where it used to be like a discount town. Bought it, and now it's a school. I said that's good. You know, he always had job fairs, did tax stuff for people if they need to do their taxes. I've tried to get my mom to do it. Hey, mama, let them do your taxes. No, you do it. I don't want them to know my business. I'm like, what you here for the church for? It's funny to me, like, the church is supposed to help people, right? But people be like, I don't want people in my business. Like, so what you in church for? The church is supposed to help you, not just spiritually, but other things. So what you in the church for? Like, you don't even want to be around these people. Why are you here? You could have stayed home and read the Bible for this. Like, why would I be in a place where I don't even like the people? Well, it's about the church. I'm like, well, then go home. Stay at home. It's weird how people treat the church. It's like, I don't like none of these people, but let me be in the church though, and spend there and do this fake smiling and stuff. It's like, what is wrong with you people? I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, no, I'm gone. I gotta go. I don't like you people. Y'all messy as hell. I had one time, this lady was this guy and this lady when I was in the usher board, and I had my Bible on my phone so I could look at the Bible. I didn't want to carry this big old book, and they were like, speak. Well, we tell the kids not to have their phones with them. I said, okay, well, my Bible's on my phone, so I don't want to carry this big old book around. Well, we understand, but we tell the kids not to have the phone. It's like, dude, just tell me that you don't want me to have a phone. It's like what are we, 5? What? Listen, either tell me straight up, or I'm keeping my phone. What is this? Then I remember we had a party, and they like, where's your wife? Well, man, we separated. Why? What do you mean, why? What? But why you ain't bring nobody with you? Cause I ain't with nobody. Why? What was? I was like, there was a lot of messy shit in there. And then even when I joined the church, I was supposed to have a big brother. Like, I talked to this man one time, and he never talked to me again. Never asked how I was doing or anything like that. I'm like, this church is fake. Then you had one of the women ushers. This woman just, oh my goodness, it's like rude as hell. And me, I'm like, I didn't open the door for her. And she's like, you supposed to open the door for us women. I'm like, what the hell? What is wrong with this woman? What is up with you? Really? I'm like, excuse me? Then one time, I'm like, I didn't talk to her because I'm like, I don't want to deal with this woman. And she's like, it's rude not to talk to somebody. I'm like, man, you very lucky. I'm a very nice person because I would tell you hell off. You very fortunate. If this was in a prison, I would have told you the hell off because you getting on my nerves. And sad thing is, her father was an usher, he was an older man, nicest man in the world, very nicest man in the world, always complimentary, nicest man in the world. But then you have his daughter, who's just it's like just a straight bitch for no reason. Like damn, lady, you ain't happy with life. I don't know what the fuck going on with you, but you bringing it in the church. You making me not want to come over here. Just crazy. Like, so it's like, it was just a lot of stuff that just made me like, I don't want to be here. Then on top of that, I was working at night. So I only got maybe 2-3 hours of sleep before I had to go to church, be the usher and all that. I was like, why am I doing this for people that I don't particularly like that? Nah, I'm good. Let me go get some sleep. And my mother was like, why you ain't going to church? You're going to go to hell. I'm like, I don't want to go. I'm just not going. They were trying to get me back, but I'm like, no, I ain't going. Sorry. And they stopped trying. So, yeah, it kind of broke my mother's heart, kind of. But it's like, Mama, you don't even like going over there. And I could tell you don't even like going. So why are you going? It's crazy with the churches and people. It's like so many people don't like to go, but they go because it's just tradition. They gotta go. And and the ones that don't want to go, they have such a negative experience that anything these churches do, you you hate, and you want to make them look bad. Hence, what happened with Mom and Sapp. It's like that's normal apparatus for churches, and it wasn't like these people couldn't leave, because when they close the door, it's not that you can't leave. You can still leave if you have to go. They're not gonna stop you from leaving. If you got to go to the restroom or something like that, it's something medical. They're not gonna stop you from leaving. But if it's nothing like that, they'll the most they'll tell you is hold up, wait till he's done. But you just gonna go. They ain't gonna what they gonna do? Tackle you from going? No, they're not gonna do that. I think people just made a big deal out of nothing, and it's just weird. But yeah, so another thing that was going on, you got Umar's daughter coming out now. She's saying she is a part of the LGBTQ. Like, damn, it's like she's trying to ruin this man's reputation at this point. Like, it's scorched earth with her. Like, now she's a lesbian, and I'm like, okay, well, yippee. Like, no one cares at this point. I think her 15 minutes of fame is dying down, because it's like at this point, it's like, I mean, we know Umar was a deadbeat. Well, I don't even want to say deadbeat. We know he wasn't there in your life. He did pay his child support, but he wasn't there. We get it. We get it. At this point, we get it. We know now. Okay, now what? You going on all these different shows. Some of these interviews have been boring as hell. That last one, that wasn't even just her talking. It's just a group of people crying about the community. Oh, the black man, I ain't doing nothing. This community ain't. Look, they leaving us. They loving their daughters. I'm like, dude, we heard this shit for decades at this point. This girl was bored. I convinced she was waiting for the Cash App to clear. Did the Cash App clear? Thank God, man. Like, these fucking people just want to trauma bond. Listen, y'all got to get over it. This has been decades. The black community has been in shambles for decades. Get over it. Either do something about it or shut the hell up about it. God damn, this girl don't care. She's on Scorch Umar Earth time. Scorch Earth time with Umar. She ain't got time to hear your fucking pity party. She ain't got time for that shit. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so she's coming out coming out as LGBTQ, coming out as gay, whatever. Like, it's like, man, at this point, no one cares. Do something else. Do something else. Listen, I get it. You're trying to get your money. Hey, I'm not mad at her. Hey, Umar caused this problem. He should have handled it. Now it come back to bite him. He had plenty of opportunity. Him and his supporters talking to you, Will Lock, Wimpon Lock. You had plenty of time to handle this, and you chose not to. So now it come back to bite you. So now she's on scorched earth time. It is what it is. You know, she's going down bad. Like that's what she want to do. Hey, I'm just there to sit there and like look at it. Like it's just what you say. Umar causes problem, and then now you got to look at it, her mom and then her stepdad. Like, what were y'all doing? What were y'all doing at this time? Like, why is she just going teetotaling off the rails like this? Ain't none of y'all gonna pull this girl to the side and say, "Hey, chick, you doing too much." I guess they don't give a damn. Like it's like they don't give a damn. I'm like, well, if her parents don't even give a damn, why do I give a damn? Let her. If she want to embarrass herself, hey, let her. Y'all need to stop talking about her. Y'all need to stop talking about Umar. I'm like, no, no. He gotta take his lumps. She gotta take her lumps too. So it is what it is. Hey, she wanna act a fool, you gonna get embarrassed. This is the internet. It is what it is, man. So it's just I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's crazy. So many people. But yeah, the other thing that I've been listening more to Queen Maker, Priscilla. It's like she's going in on the women. this it's funny to me. I understand. She's the same. She's the same as some of these people on the black pill side. They see what it is. These dudes don't want to. They don't want to. They don't want to control these women. They don't want real power. They don't want to change the world for black men. They just want to cry about Keisha, and then if Keisha give them a little attention and a handy, they going back. And this is why, like these guys of the black pill, like, oh no, we ain't about that. We don't care what these women do. We don't care if they being nice to us. No, it's we don't fuck with them no more. We're gonna use them, and guess what? We're gonna take care of ourselves. Hell, we're just not gonna deal with these women at all. Which, listen, I'm for it. Like, if that's how you feel, do that. Listen, as a black pillar, I understand. Like me, I never call these women goddesses and queens, and I never painted these women as victims, just perpetual victims all the time. That's just never been my thing. Why? Because I had a mother. Again, it's like, and I don't give these women excuses, especially when you're talking about harming children. I've literally seen on panels where these grown ass men and grown ass women giving these women excuses for beating and harming their child. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not doing that. Well, if the man were, I don't care what that man do. I don't care what that man do. That's her child. You don't beat up your child because of what a man did. I don't give a damn what that man did. That's not his problem. That's her problem. And it bothered me because it's like, if you're gonna sit there and let this woman beat their kids and then you just gonna give her excuses, then that means y'all let a chick beat up on a kid, walk by, ain't gonna do a goddamn thing. Hell no. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Cause I'm not gonna do that. Just beating on the kid and I'm gonna sit there? No. Now I understand they whoop like corporal punishment. They smack the kid on the leg or something like that. to get the mind. I understand that. I have no problem with that. But you just smacking your kid because you mad? No, that's some cowardly shit. That's a coward. That's a bully. And some of these women have been fucking bullies to their children. And you wonder why these kids have turned on these women. And you wonder why they turn on these women. Because they've been bullies. They've been bullies to these kids. To these boys and these girls. Letting these kids get abused. But you want to give them a pass. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I will never do it. And some of the women I know that I work with, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't give that a pass. So these you got grown ass men and women online giving passes to women because you mad at the manosphere. You mad at at a Charleston White. You mad at a Jay Prince. You mad at a Tommy Sotomayor. You gonna give all these women passes? Ain't gonna happen, dude. My mother wouldn't allow me to do that. I don't call these women queens and guys. You know why? Because my mother didn't do it. And my mother was like, at the time when around those channels, my mom was in her 70s. My mama taught me about that a long time ago. Some of these women are effed up. You can't trust these women worth the shit. And she didn't blame no men for that. She said, no, these women fucked up. That's them. So I got a woman telling me this. My mother's telling me this. Why the hell would I do that? You're a grown ass man. Some of these dudes in their 40s and 50s, they doing this crazy stuff. And you wonder why these women don't respect black men. You let them get away with murder. Luckily, there's somebody like Priscilla who's like, nah, I ain't letting y'all get away with that shit. Some of y'all fucked up. You're part of the reason why the community's fucked up. Man, she's like, y'all the reason. Like, she is like, you the one with all this power, but yet you're not even trying to use it. You're not even trying to use it. So yeah, it's your fault. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I understand it. That's black pill talking points. These black pills are like, they don't make no excuses for people at all. They don't care what your excuses is. It's your fault. You let these women do you this kind of dirty, it's your fault. That's what it should be. And, like, once you know that some of these women are effed up, some of these women will do you dirty. They will date dudes who they want. It's not, oh, these are all the men that's there. No, that's who they want to date. Because again, when people say burn the community, they're the first ones like, no, don't do it. Well, that means there's good men in there. So why you ain't picking them? You can't have it both ways. You can't say that's all they have. They're trying to pick the best of the worst. No, if it's all this, if this the worst, then you shouldn't have a problem with the community getting burned down. No, we can't do that. Okay, so what you want? You can't have it both ways. But these people want it both ways. These women nest in the environment, but they can't choose the right man. Like, no, sorry, bro. We can't. It don't compute. It don't make sense. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it where the women are most intelligent, but your kids are failing, especially the boys. But you're the one birthed them. So what are we doing? Well, the daddies. Well, the daddy's not there. So, but you here. Which one you want to? You can't have it both ways. You can't say they're the most educated. They're the ones the reason why these guys are being so successful. But then when the ones are failing, you're gonna blame the daddy. Like, you can't have it both ways. Just like you're not gonna give the credit to the daddy if he wasn't there. But then you can't give him the credit for her misbehaving. Well, he put her in that position. I've seen women in that position all the time. They ain't beating their kids. A lot of these kids are successful. So if they in that same position and being successful, and then some of them are fucking failures. Okay, at that point, well, okay, who you blame? Yeah, and I remember there was a woman saying black women get all the blame for everything. I'm like, man, by who? I think y'all take that manosphere a little too hard. You think the manosphere is like everybody online. Everybody online ain't doing that. Eh, I'm not looking at the weak niggas, what they say. I'm looking at the people with actual power, the actual media, actual men with actual power. What are they saying? They're not saying that. So I'm not looking at weak ass niggas. And here's the thing: a lot of these women make the manosphere more powerful than what it is, but yet they do the least to the manosphere. We'll troll them. Oh, we're insult them, but you're not going to YouTube. Y'all don't go to YouTube. You let only time y'all go to YouTube is on Tommy is he's stalking a woman, which you definitely should. I'm not saying don't. But all this other stuff, y'all ain't going to no YouTube for that. Hell, I remember RBR. God bless his soul, I guess, in some way. He's yelling, cussing at these women, and the guys are telling, hey, don't go over there. Don't go over there. You go back. They still over there. He's still cussing us out. Didn't we tell you not to go over there? Well, we can do whatever. Okay, well, do whatever. But when you get cussed out, don't come over here. And matter of fact, the man who telling him don't go over there, he going over there. I'm like, wait a second. Hold up. You just told these women don't go over there, but you going over there. Why? It's like, dude, this is why these women don't respect you. You can't even be leaders. You can't even follow your own code. How the fuck they gonna follow you? But then again, going by what Priscilla say, the women supposed to be the leaders, natural leaders. They ain't fucking up. So she like, no, I'm not focused on the men like that. I told you how these men are, whether you believe it or not. I told you how these men are. You still want to go over there. You still want to deal with them. Okay, well, then fuck it then. It's your fault. I am not going to treat you like a victim no more. I'm not going to treat you like a goddess or a queen because you're not. You could be, but you're not. And you're not acting like, so I ain't going to treat you like it. I'm going to treat you like a human being. And if you're doing dumb shit, I'm going to call you out on it. And I applaud it. Because I've been saying that for a minute. Like, yeah, these women causing their own problems. And the sad thing is that she got more sense than some of these black male these black male feminists on here. She got more sense than them. Because they do what the manosphere do. And I said this on panels. They do the same thing that the manosphere do. They take away these women's humanity. They just on opposite ends of the spectrum. Okay. But they do the same thing that the manosphere do, except on both opposite ends. Either they gonna the manosphere, the red pillars, some of the black pillars demonize them to the point of absurdity. When some of that shit is not even their fault, but these guys deify them to the point where nothing their fault. They like children. And so guess what these women are going to act like when they get online or in real life? Like children. So you treat them like children, they act like children, and then when people call it out, now you want to get mad at them for calling them children. They ain't children. But then you tell these dudes, you got to treat them like children. Wait a second, that's what the manosphere is saying. So what are you saying? I'm like, what kind of weirdo shit is going on in this chick? I'm glad Priscilla's calling it out. But then again, Priscilla is a black pillar. Yeah, they didn't catch it. They were okay when she was going at the men, but they didn't catch that. Hey, you're the problem of this. You can change this if you change yourself. But the problem is even with the black pill, a lot of people can't do that because they always need an enemy. They don't want to look in that mirror. And Priscilla is starting to learn that, especially what happened with B. Taylor. How these women went at her. So then she's like, she's on scorch earth time. I don't blame her. I do not blame her. Because she's finding out. It's just like when people first get into the Lord. It's like when you get into a new religion. You're happy inside. You want to share it. You want to help everybody. And then when you find out that most of these people are on bullshit. Most of these people really on some bullshit. They really don't believe what they're saying. They just do it because it's either they look good or they're scared. They run to the Bible when they're scared. You know, their life has been so fucked up that they scared of the repercussions, and so they go to the Bible. They go to church. I had a friend who was trying to do that with me. Like, aren't you scared? You might go to hell. You're gonna go to hell. I was like, okay, first of all, listen, whatever I'm doing, which is my fault for telling too much of my business. But at that point, I don't really give a shit because it's like, listen, whatever. I'm like, listen, dude, whatever. I'm not running to church like I'm scared. It's like, I think he forgot that I was in the church for years. I don't run to the church like I'm scared. If I'm going to follow the Bible and I'm going to follow Jesus' teachings, it's going to be because I want to, not because I have to, and not because I'm scared. And I understand the consequences of whatever I'm doing. So I'm not going to run like a scary cat because I'm worried about what happens in the future. If it happens, it happens. I could die tomorrow, and guess what? I might go to somewhere else. It is what it is, you know. So, and I think that's what happened with a lot of people who going like the black pillar. You know, oh, this is some great stuff. I want to share it and see how many people going to follow. And then you find out most of these people are not going to do it. Most of these people are not going to do it. Okay, they just not. They can't because black pill. Here's the thing with black pill, and here's the thing with what she teaches these women. The only people the main people that's going to do it is the people that went through the most shit. The most people going to do that is the people that seen the worst of humanity. They've seen the worst of men and the worst of women. And usually it's the prettiest people and the ugliest people. Why? Because they see the dark side of humanity the most. Because you see these people who can't control their desires. They see how these people really are. Because it's not how people treat you when it's somebody they like. It's how they treat you when you don't benefit them in any way, how they treat you. And some of these people get treated terribly. Some of these people, like Priscilla's story, she's been raped and all kinds of stuff happened to her through men and even women. Because you can hear the story about women. Yeah, she went through some shit. So I understand from her mindset why she is what she is. I understand it. She went through shit. And I understand what lot of these guys are black pilled because they went through shit. They went through shit with the opposite sex. They went through shit with their moms. They went through shit with their dads. I think people don't take that into consideration when they say these things, especially when they say your mama black, but you don't know how this mom treated this. You don't know if this dude mama left him for another dude. You don't know that this mama call ain't shit ugly and all kinds of stuff. You don't know what this mama did to him. So why on God's been there? What you tell him about his mama? Because if he think his mama a bitch, what you think he think about you? You probably don't want to ask that question because then he gonna let you know what he think about his mama, and that translate into what he think about women as a whole. Because how the opposite gender, your opposite gender parent treats you is how you're gonna feel about the opposite gender. If your daddy was a piece of shit, guess what you're gonna think about men? If your mama was a piece of shit, what you think gonna think about mom? And also that also helped with the same gender. If your mama was a piece of shit, what you gonna think about women? If your daddy was a piece of shit, what you gonna think about men? This is where a lot of these black male this black male feminists come from. Because a lot of times their daddy was a piece of shit. Or he died before he became an adult. So he's all around women all the time. That's why you hear, I don't want to sausage first. But I can understand the realm of dating, but dude, we ain't dating. We gotta build a community. And you don't want no men around? Come on, dude. That's weird. But then again, a lot of these dudes, they take it from a dating realm. Then they got daddy issues, mommy issues. Yeah, like any dude who's worried about the women all the time, I can't trust that man. I don't want to be around that dude. I just don't. Because I know if a woman say something, he gonna shake me in the back. And trust me, I'm gonna get rid of you before that happens. I will get rid of you before that ever will happen. That's just how I feel about that. I'm gonna get rid of you first. Ain't gonna get rid of me. I'm gonna get rid of you first. So man, so like, and they this idolization of women to the point where it's just like, dude, nobody does this. My mother didn't do that. My mother taught me better. She would tell you about these women. These women ain't right. How she know? Because she's around women all the time. She know how they treat their men. She know how the men treat them. She see how they just take abuse. That's what Priscilla was saying. Like, yeah, these women take abuse. Y'all take abuse from these dudes, and then you want to blame everybody else. I'm like, no, that's your problem. You did it. You caused this problem. And she's adding the whole thing about them getting goddesses and stuff. It's like, no, you're the one caused all this shit. Which I was trying to warn some of these guys and over there these channels. It's like, do you understand what you're doing? You're going to get to the point where people are going to blame these women for everything, and not just the manosphere, but just everybody else. And lo and behold, you got a woman who's doing that. That's crazy. But anyway, I got to cut this short. I got a customer. Thank you, Conscious Mom, for coming through. And if I got a little more time or feel like it, I might do some more. Peace.